Oh yeah, we're recording. We look insane.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know how to do the video setup in this room, and it kind of looks like we're two high school students doing like a fake news show about like cumulus clouds or something.
I see that, or this video setup kind of looks like one of us is going to confess to like a triple homicide. One of us is going to break the other one into finally fessing up to what we've done. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Best Worst Friends. Episode 29, I believe, right?
So.
Fuck, man. We're getting close.
Hoping these will get good by 50.
Oh, man.
That's my hope.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? You record a podcast and you end up deleting the first 50 episodes anyway. Can't you, like, not find the first episodes of Joe Rogan and Experience anywhere? Because
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to let the cat downstairs. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, this is just going to be... The cat's back in the room now.
All right, shut up. Come on.
Guys, I just wanted to take this moment to talk to you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We appreciate everything that you do in supporting us. It feels real nice to see those numbers every week. You guys are gems. You guys are gems. If you ever want to leave us voice notes on Anchor, please do so. I know you have to make an account. It's weird.
Do you want to start again?
No, this is fine.
All right.
This is a podcast, man. What else? What else do you fucking want?
Heartfelt thank you. That's fine.
Yeah, it's called Fill in Time, but fill in time from the heart.
All right, so you went to a Tigercats game?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to like my first professional football game ever. It was a lot of fun, man. The Ticats won, thankfully.
That's important.
It's very important.
I've never seen a sports team win when I saw them live.
Oh, really?
Like 3 Jays games, and they've lost every time.
Just fucking Tim the Kiss of Death Nicholson.
Absolutely. And then I'm just drunk eating hot dogs. I could do that at home.
Yeah, you could just watch the game for free.
Yeah, I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate a victory with other people dressed in blue.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. The number one thing I loved at this game was just hearing like the heckles of like the blue collar crowd from Hamilton yelling out. Like, I just love the sound of a 50-year-old man maxing out his vocal cords to be like, "You're a fucking cheater! You're after cheaters!"
Where
He's
the,
getting
like,
so
voice
mad.
starts going in and out because it's just like losing it.
Yeah,
The top range of it starts clipping.
yeah. Or any time like someone in the crowd would take it upon themselves to stand up when the Ticats were down for a little bit to the Argonauts and like, "Come on, guys, we have to get behind our team." Like, what the fuck? What is this?
Let's go, Todd. We're down. We're down by 4 touchdowns. Shut up.
They're only down by 1 score, and people are acting like the fucking world was over. It's
Yeah,
like, they'll get right back into it, dude. It's the CFL.
but also
Nothing matters.
here's the thing: you're right, but they're more right. You know, like you're right in the real world,
Yeah,
but when you're at a sports game, they're right.
yeah,
They're absolutely right.
and they're reacting as they are programmed to do.
Yeah, every yard is life or death.
Yeah,
All that shit. It's like at a comedy show where you're like, "Welcome to the show. Give it up for your headliner," and everyone claps. Even half the people are like, "I've never fucking heard this guy's name in my life."
yeah. There's along for the ride at that point.
Yeah, it's just your role. You know, you're supposed to. Every yard is life or death. Every point is a kick in the teeth. Football. Tom Landry.
I loved it so much. I loved all the people who were like dressed hard for the event, or like people would show up with hard hats and they had giant inflatable yellow hammers and stuff, and they did the chant like, you know, Oskee Wee Wee. You ever heard that before?
Nope.
Well, apparently there's more to it because they're like, "We're gonna do the Ticats cheer," and they're like, you're going along with them, right? They're like, "Oskee Wee Wee." And then I thought you just kept saying Oskee Wee Wee, and then it goes Oskee Wah Wah, but I was just like at the top of my lungs again, Wee Wee. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to really take a back seat on this. Because then they had another sentence that didn't even start with Oskee, and I was like, I have no fucking idea what's happening here at all.
What is Oskee Wee Wee?
I have no idea what it means.
Sounds like something you tell a kid who uses the potty.
Like a kid named Oscar who
Yeah.
like just won't use the toilet.
That's Oskee. Time for Oskee Wee Wee. Like, oh, wanna.
Oskee Wah Wah.
So that's like a big chant that they do.
Yeah.
That feels offensive to Native Americans. I don't know
Yeah.
if it is.
Hopefully it's next on the cutting block.
That would be great.
Getting rid of stuff.
Oskee Wee Wee.
Someone told me like a Tom Green joke from having seen him recently about he was making fun of the CFL team names in Ottawa, like where he's from,
Yeah.
because at one point they were the Red Blacks. He's like, which feels offensive against two different groups of people.
They've never got their name right.
Yeah.
It's a hack bit now
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't exist. But that was, if you watch Just for Laughs clips in the early 2000s, it was a lot of the CFL has 9 teams and 2 of them are called the Rough Riders.
Yeah, that was insanity. How that slipped through the cracks. How they could ever let that happen.
No, one's 2 words. One is 1 word. So.
You know what? I did genuinely enjoy the game. I had a lot of fun. I went with Nick, so it was an awesome hang. It was great to go to my first CFL game. I cannot lie that I was disappointed the first time it got to third down.
I cannot lie that I was disappointed. Does that mean you weren't disappointed?
I cannot lie that I was disappointed.
You were
I
disappointed.
guess I cannot lie and say that I wasn't disappointed is the sentence I should.
No,
make it
that is
even
not the
more
sentence you should have said.
Worse?
What you should say is, I was disappointed.
Okay. Well, I was disappointed when it got to like third down. It was like third down and 3. I was like, all right, come on, boys. We got this. And then I realized it's the fucking CFL, so it's only 3 downs, right? So they're already punting, and I was like, oh, yeah.
They're like,
I forgot.
We already didn't got this, Doug. Shut up.
Yeah.
I remember when I was the worst offensive lineman for the Banting Broncos high school football team.
I thought you were going to say the worst offensive lineman. I was going to be like, I got pulled off a team that lost every game.
Well, they would switch me to whichever side of the line they were not running the ball to, so the other team always knew where we were going. So, I'll give you a run for your money over there.
They're just like the defense is like, weak link on the left, weak link on the left. You're just like, what do you think that means?
just like elbowing the guy next to me, like, you're gonna take that? Come on, have some dignity, man.
Just a guy like a foot taller and you like 100 pounds on you.
Yeah,
I don't talk to you like that.
A guy who can bench anything.
Just gonna throw you at him.
Yeah, we were at an away game. I think it was at like Central or South or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my buddy Sean Davis was the team captain, and he was trying to give us like a rousing speech, sort of like a chant going to get us jacked up for the game. Go concuss some people, and he started. And at one point he got to whose house, and we all just looked at him. And we're like, their house.
It's an away game.
Yeah, this is not our house. It's their signs are everywhere, man. What are you doing? And he's like, come on, whose house? And we're like, our house.
But
then we got our asses kicked because we got our asses kicked every game that season.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so you got to learn about CFL rules. Did you get to see a rouge?
At one point the fucking ball, it was one of the first things that happened. I think it was one of the first points of the game was the ball like touched in the end zone or something. It got kicked and like touched in the end zone. Mm-hmm. And then the scoreboard went up by 1 and I was like, what the fuck was what was that?
That's the worst part of the CFL is you can be like, all right, 1 second left on the clock. Tie game, end of the fourth quarter. For the win, here comes the punter. And then he just has to kick the ball through the end zone and you get a point.
Yeah. It just has to land anywhere in the end zone.
Yeah, I think if it goes through the end zone, that also counts.
Just has to break the
It just has to break the end zone and then they don't bring it back out and you get a point. A missed field goal is like a point if they don't bring it out of the end zone. So stupid.
It's insanity. It's insanity. It was a lot of fun. The game was a lot of fun. Yeah, just the atmosphere. They had like this giant military helicopter fly overhead because it was
the Canadian
the troops
version
or
of like
something.
the fighter jets.
Yeah,
that go over NFL games, like this whatever they're called, that fly over and everyone goes at the end of the national anthem.
Yeah,
it was like a chopper goes.
It's got a slow going through the air, but it was still pretty cool.
Did you guys maintain the cheer for the entire helicopter ride?
I think it was like a clapping for the whole thing.
So it was just there were no woos really. It was just.
I think there was
like
some
a golf clap. Like, yeah, it's a fucking helicopter.
So I'm like, whoa. Because it's crazy to see like what looks like a bus just flying so fast through the air. Looks nothing like a plane. It's just a bus with 2 propellers on top.
Oh, it was one of the big ones.
Yeah.
All right, those are cool.
Yeah.
Nah, I changed
It's
my
pretty
mind.
fucking
Yeah, those
rad.
are the ones that like fly tanks
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah, those
Yeah,
things are
that's
sick.
sick.
I thought it was just like a guy in a helicopter, like tourists.
No. No, it wasn't just like the fucking hospital helicopter. They're like, come on, man, you gotta we gotta put some razzle dazzle on this game. Can't be showing up by the Arkells like a couple months ago. Come on, dude.
Yeah, that was actually just a coincidence. There was a man dying in the back that really needed to get him somewhere important.
Yeah, we're just gonna make a quick diversion. He's like, why? He just hears people clapping. No.
No, dude, it'll be sick. Shut up. Bro, it'll be sick. Shut the fuck up.
Wave.
Give him a thumbs up. But and then the Ticats lost.
No, the Tigercats won.
Ticats won.
Yeah.
That's right.
So everyone was all happy.
That's great.
Which was nice. Everyone leaves in good spirits. There was one, because there's just like a sea of Ticats fans, right? Obviously. And then there was one Toronto guy, and whenever Toronto would score, he would just stand up with one of those like Vuvuzela things and just be like, and you just tell everyone just fucking hated him.
Fucking the Vuvuzela is the worst invention ever.
Yeah.
Do you remember the World Cup when they like introduced the Vuvuzelas?
Yeah.
And then the background of every single shot was like,
Yeah, that was a mistake.
It was dog shit.
I wonder if that's like affected anybody's hearing.
Why bring
like
them
going
over?
to a game with like something like that? Like you literally hear like a fucking foghorn from a ship.
Yeah.
All game, you're trying to hear an announcer say anything. It's just, and you're driving home, just still.
I don't know. That might be quieter than just like, a 50-year-old plumber sitting directly behind you, just being like, "Let's go Tigers!" as loud as he can. That'll probably fuck
the
you over.
Argonauts.
Yeah.
Argos fucking suck. You instead just be like, brr, brr. Like just do it angrily.
Yeah. Just like sound like you're getting Charlie Brown in trouble.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, the quarterback won't throw. Wah, 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 wah. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
You know what's funny too is when if a Hamilton Tiger Cat ever got injured and was down, it would be like, oh no, that's awful. And then if an Argonaut would be down, they'd be like, come on, man, get off you're right at the edge of the field, get off the field. And I just imagine how awful it would be to, maybe you fucking tore your ACL, or who knows what the fuck happened. Even just like you rolled your ankle in front of, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000
you
people.
stubbed your toe and you're embarrassed.
Yeah. Did a bad play. It's always funny when someone gets like fucking run the fuck over and then they're the injured person.
Yeah.
It's like, now you're injured, but you also got clowned on.
Yeah.
That's got to hurt more. Because like you're just down on the ground, like the paramedic comes up like, what hurts? And he's just like, my pride, man. My pride hit me right in the pride.
I could probably walk, but can you just get the cart or something so I don't look like a big baby?
Do you have a bag I can put over my head?
It was like, do you follow basketball from 10 years ago at all?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
perfect.
No.
The Boston Celtics were on like a championship run. I think that was the year they won.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the games, Paul Pierce got taken off the court in a wheelchair. And then he came back later in the game. And everybody, the entire speculation to the point where it's now fact, is that he shit his pants. Like Paul Pierce just shit his pants. He didn't want to do like the shit pants walk off the court. So they got him a wheelchair and wheeled him into the room so he could get new underpants.
Dude, honestly, smart move.
Very smart move.
I would not be thinking that clearly if I had just shit my pants. I'd for sure be yelling, I just shit my pants.
Yeah. I just shit my pants. I get the people in the front row yelling in Jack Nicholson's face, I shit my pants.
Yeah. That's my fucking, that's my card that year. It's just me holding my fucking shorts.
Shit
I remember
my pants.
I can't remember where the fuck my dad was going for like a walk one day, and he's like wearing like khaki shorts. And he like walks away, and me and my mom are like just sitting out on the front steps of our house. And then he comes back like a couple minutes later, and he's like walking funny, like holding his crotch. And we're like, what happened? And he's just like, nice shit my pants. Like he was just disappointed in himself. Like that was his tone.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That
was great.
There's a big thing with athlete injuries where you're like not supposed to be happy when an opponent gets injured.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, oh, that's issue. We want to beat them at full strength. Like I remember at when the Raptors were on their championship run, it was like they were up 3-1 in the series, I think. And Klay Thompson was out. Kevin Durant had been out the whole series, and then Kevin Durant was going to come back for this game. And I was like, he might be the best player on the planet. Like, if he's good to go, we might be fucked.
Yeah.
And then he bounced the ball like 5 times, and then you saw the muscle just like detach in his calf. It just like popped off. And he went down, and everybody was like, oh, no, everyone, no, oh, it's sad. And I was there like, we are winning this championship. Like, we're going to win now. Why are we? He's rich enough.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to pretend to be upset.
Did he ever play again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
He had a year of rehab because he came back too early from an injury, and then he played again. He's still awesome. He's being kind of a bitch right now, trying to get out of Brooklyn, but whatever. He's like, either I go or the head coach goes. And they're like, you were the one who told us to hire the head coach. I'm like, yeah, but now he sucks. Just me. And he, but yeah, I remember like cheering, and people were like, come on, man. Like, he's hurt. He's not that hurt.
Yeah. I'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He wasn't fucking decapitated.
Yeah, he'll go get a poor person's ACL and stitch it on, and then they'll be back in like a year.
Yeah, you're going to see a homeless person hobbling even more because he sold his musculature to Kevin Durant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he's, a college basketball player who never made it.
Yeah.
Going to give his calf muscle to Kevin Durant.
And now he gets to watch, and he's like, part of me made it.
Yeah, gets a ring when they win a championship. It'll be a whole thing.
Like a little one.
Yeah.
An ankle bracelet. NBA champs.
Yeah, he's just walking around like, I'll give you this ankle bracelet if you give me your ACL. I'm like, no.
Nah, I've fallen for that before.
What's it like at Tigercats Stadium? Do they have sort of cool games like at a Leafs game where you can like do a slap shot challenge, or do you get to throw a football around somewhere?
No, they didn't have anything like that. They had like the junior Argonauts and the junior Ticats come out at halftime and play.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was about it.
Like
I remember.
How junior are we talking?
I think like 12, 13, 14, like that kind of.
All right, that's cool.
Maybe younger. I have no concept of children's ages at all. But I remember
they're also really far away wearing pads.
Yeah.
They're prepubescent.
Yeah. And the pads are just like confusing. I remember at first I was like a little stoned, and they were on the field before the game started, and their coach was standing with them. And part of me was like, holy fucking hell, that coach is here. I was like, oh, those are like the tiny guys. It was a little teeny tiny one. But I was just like, if you look at them like they're people, this guy's like fucking Gandalf with the hobbits. Just like, come now, master hobbits.
You should try that on stage tonight. That's very funny.
Yeah? All right, sick. No, I'll write it down.
Just a moment when a grown man, like, we are really far away from these football players. They look like children.
We had fucking great seats, too, because we were at the 50-yard line.
That's, wow.
Yeah.
You guys have, like, actually, is that impressive at a Ticats game?
I don't know. Like, we were some rows back, obviously.
I know, but
we were right there.
Is, like, everybody on the 50-yard line, or do they have, like, do they fill the stands out?
The stands are like pretty filled out, but I was seeing like some empty pockets, which made me think that the next time there's a home game, I might just show up near to the start of the game and be like, "Are there cheap tickets?" Like,
absolutely,
right?
yeah,
probably,
yeah. That's what I want to do with a Jays game. Now that I'm woefully unemployed, see if I can spend $15 to go see the Blue Jays play on an afternoon.
When I was a little kid, St. Thomas had its own like junior baseball team, and it used to cost like, I don't know, $5-10 to go see them. But me and my dad would just wait until the third inning because that's when the people working the box office got to go watch the game, and then we just walk in. They were like, nothing fucking happens in the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
It's a fun broke cheat to know.
Yeah. It's like 2 fucking Dutch guys. We're like, whatever, we're not fucking paying for this shit.
You don't really strike me as a Dutch guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I spend money on what I like, but I am very frugal.
You know, I know, but you're not like
also, I'm just very poor.
You're not like wearing clogs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you don't have like pigtails. or whatever. You know?
Is that a Dutch thing?
I think so.
I don't
like
know
what
throw
Dutch,
tulips around like out of my pockets or.
I don't know what Dutch people are. Fuck, I forgot to put the winged screens on the microphones. Whatever.
Oh, just our peas are popping like
I just went
crazy.
into the microphone like an asshole.
I had a weird experience on the train I took up today. I got on the train and I had
Is this the Via from London to Tio?
To Toronto. I was once again put into the only 4 seats that face each other. You know, they have like like 2 seats face forward, 2 seats face forward.
Yeah,
2
so
seats
a
forward.
lovely family can enjoy a train ride
and
together.
it was a lovely. It was a black lady and her 2 black kids, and then me, and then I'm pretty sure sitting across from me, the father, on the other side of the aisle with like different people. Like I don't know what the fuck happened. Also, it was.
Sorry, I'm really enjoying the thought of you going up to this black man and being like, "Hey, do you want to sit with your family?" And being like, "Yeah, I don't know those people."
But I mean, like, your family. No, dude, the part that freaked me out is I'm reading it right now, and I literally just passed a very racist part in this book because the whole point of it is like the story for the kids takes place in 1958, and then when they're adults, it's 1985 or whatever.
Sure.
But it's because Pennywise comes back every 27 years and does all this evil stuff, kills kids, and that always ends in like a big bad thing happening, right?
And someone had to pull Pennywise aside and be like, "No, you can't say that anymore, man. No, it's not cool."
Yeah. He's like, "What? I'm killing kids." Like, yeah, we're gonna let that slide for now.
Listen, we'll get to that, but you can't say that anymore.
Yeah. Just a woke Pennywise. But no, so the 1930s was the last time before the kids that bad stuff happened in Derry. But the thing it culminated in is there was like a group that was basically like the KKK, but in like the more northern states. It was like the Union of White Decency or something like that. It was called.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they
just like using proper language to be racist.
Yeah. And
fun times.
there was like a military base that had like a black battalion, and they didn't let them go to like the dive bars in town, like during Prohibition and all that, because they would just go to these bars that had like illegal booze.
Right.
They didn't want them mingling with people, right? Because they're shitty racist assholes. So they made them make
the white people.
Yeah. Okay. And they made the black soldiers make their own venue, and it became popular. It was called like the Black Spot.
Yeah, it sounds like a way better time than whatever
It was a lot of fun.
white supremacists were up to in their bar.
Yeah. Like people would come in from Derry to go to this place, and then one time the fucking white racist guys, the decency people, were just like, "We're gonna go with fucking torches and scare them." And they lit the torches, and apparently it's like, they like fumbled with it because like, it got in their hand. They're like, fuck, and they threw the torch, and like that's what they claim, but they lit the place on fire.
Wait, is that what Stephen King says they did?
Yeah.
In the book, they're like, then they slipped, these nice white racists slipped on a banana peel.
Decent, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, he says that, but then at the same time, some of the torches get thrown through windows into the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's like, did they slip?
Right.
Like, did fucking, Tom Brady slip over there and I'm gonna sauce it through the window?
I'm going to tell you right there, they did not slip.
No, they for sure didn't. But anyways, the reason I was nervous is this whole part of the book just had the N-word in it so much. So much. This book's very racist. And, like, even the one character, like Richie, you never watched it, right? We talked about this, right? You don't like horror stuff. But he...
Also, Stephen King's kind of up his own ass.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like Shawshank Redemption, but...
Yeah. Do you ever read the story?
No.
That's based on?
Of course
Apparently, that book, like, there's 5 short stories in that book.
Yeah.
And 4 of them have been turned into, like, great movies, and then one of them hasn't.
Yeah.
And I really want to read that book just to be like, how bad is the story?
Yeah, it's like The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, something else.
Or there's 4 stories and 3 have been made.
Okay.
Yeah, it might just be up a number. But yeah, I was just nervous that these people around me were going to look into the book
especially
that I was reading.
Especially because you're one of those people who like moves your lips when you read.
Well, thankfully, we had to wear masks on the train. So,
thank God.
So yeah,
so they couldn't see.
That part was eliminated. But I fucking hate sitting in those seats where if I didn't have a book, I literally was just staring down the whole time. So if I didn't have a book, I would just be looking and like just trying not to make eye contact with someone for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's awful. I don't even know. I have no idea why those seats are even an option.
sitting across from a child you don't know sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're like, one, I don't want to stare at this child for 2 hours. Two,
Yeah.
I don't want this child in my life. I don't want to like talk to him and like
Yeah.
have to babysit him while
This
his
kid
mom
kept
has a
like
nap.
moving his leg and it would touch my leg and I'd be like, oh my God, he moved his leg. He moved his leg.
You were so afraid of like getting in trouble.
Yeah,
It's
I just like
crazy.
I don't
Like,
wanna,
socially.
I don't want to look at them. I don't want
You-
to
you,
talk
like-
to anybody.
You like jerk off at work and,
In secret.
and generally slack off
Yeah.
around like actual figures of authority.
Yes.
You like hate the cops, you don't vote, you're like all that, but you're worried that like socially someone's gonna be like, that guy's a racist pedophile, and you're like, no, I'm not.
You fucking cracked the code, Jen. That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just a very uncomfortable train ride. I'm fucking over the train, man. I hate it. It's so silly.
You
You
were
have
in
to
the train.
a lot. It feels like
Oh, because you don't want to ride the megabus.
a lot. Well, there really isn't a megabus to Hamilton, and the only reason I took the train is that Brittany thought there would be like crazy traffic, and was like maybe the bus would be like super late, which the train kind of was anyways. But
I guarantee you that the bus would have been.
yeah, no, it would have been brutal. I've heard like it's rough around Toronto driving right now. All those road closures. We just sound like old men.
Oh,
now.
construction. You know they say Canada's got 2 seasons, pal: winter and construction. You know what I mean?
I mean, we are both old men now, right?
Yeah, you're
We're both
30.
in our 30s.
30-year-old baby.
Isn't that fucked?
That's fucked,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Oh my God, you're so old.
It makes me feel a million years old. I can't remember if I told you this or not, but I was talking to my one coworker at the temp agency, and he's fucking 20 years old, married with a kid, and he was telling me about the most high he ever was, and it was the night he got kicked out of his mom's place with his like wife and child, and he took like 10 dabs. But
Fuck,
anyways,
man.
as he's talking, I realized
Before or after?
after, I think like outside, like a friend of his, he just like hit
they
10
were, like,
dabs.
spiteful dabs, looking his mom in the eye.
Yeah, this will show her.
Yeah, and she's like, "That's fucking exactly why I kicked you out of this house."
But anyways, talking to
All
him,
right,
I
wife
realized
and
like,
child, let's go find somewhere to live.
But I
We
realized,
considered
like,
the moon.
this guy fucking 20 years old. It's 2022. Like, this guy wasn't even fucking alive for 9/11, and he's a parent. Like, that just blew my fucking... I realized while I was, like, showering after this job, and, like, my knees, like, almost buckled in the shower, because I was like, that it fucking made me feel so old in my soul. Do you remember, like... Because you're older than me, right? So you're 31? You're 32?
No, I'm turning
You'll be
32 in
this
like
year.
2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, shit, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
I should have. Fuck. I need to message medieval times. Don't let me forget.
Dude.
Don't let me
We'll
forget.
do it right after this.
Yes.
And you know what? Brittany's already put her name in for, worst case scenario, we'll go in October. But we're going to go before then. We gotta do it for your month. We'll do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just realized that this guy wasn't here for this pivotal thing. I remember I was in grade 4, and I remember the teachers got like an intercom to like call the office, and they go up to that box on the wall and they like hit the button. They're like talking like in whisper. You know what I'm talking about? Like the intercom in the
That's
classrooms.
such a funny thing to whisper into.
Yeah.
It's like a speaker bigger than your head, and you're
Yeah.
like, so there's a massive terror attack in the United States.
Yeah, and then our teacher had to fucking tell us. And I remember her way of, I don't know, like helping us cope or deal with it or something. She wanted us to write letters to, I don't know if it was supposed to be the people of New
To
York.
Osama bin Laden.
Oh, yeah. What you did was bad.
Yeah. Boo.
That's
you.
how our teacher was like, no, we'll mail the letters. We just follow the letter. She thinks like the post service is magic.
That's how they got Osama bin Laden. They made a deal with Santa Claus, and when he went to give him his Christmas present, the seals came in.
Santa walks up. I got some seals for you. He thinks it's like the fun kind, and the soldiers walk in like, oh my god.
No. Brings him a Navy SEAL-sized box as a gift.
Just a Trojan seal.
It's a giant seal.
But in it are Navy SEALs.
That's a very nice seal, Santa. Thank you.
Oh my God, you shouldn't have. I thought I was naughty this year. But anyways, our teacher wanted us to write these letters, and she didn't really explain the thing to me. So I remember writing just Dear 9/11. Like I wrote to the terrorist attacked, like Dear 9/11. Heard you're not feeling too good. Like I don't remember what I put in the letter, but I hope she didn't fucking send it. But all this, like, it was just all these memories that came flooding back all at once because it reminded me too. There was a girl in our class. I won't say her whole name, but her first name was Alicia. Which really narrows it down. But she.
Say her whole name. Who cares? No, don't actually.
It
doesn't really matter.
And also, it doesn't matter the story. But anyways, she wanted to do something extra.
It was Alicia 9/11. I wrote her so many letters.
But she wanted to do something extra, so she ran like I don't know, like some sort of raffle giveaway bake sale thing at a church and raised like $5,000, right?
Wow.
And sent it there for like the relief fund. I'm dropping the bucket, but whatever. It's
it's very nice to do.
It's very nice. And then the city of St. Thomas gave her like a key to the city, and it fucking went to her head. And we all like hated her for it. And then we just started calling her 9/11. That was just like her nickname in our school. And I remember one time she got in trouble for something because we all just fucking couldn't stand her. She got in trouble one time and got put on the wall. And like me and all my friends took turns like walking by being like 9/11 got put on the wall. And then like the teacher would look over and we'd just fucking run away and get in trouble.
It's being little naughty boys making fun of 9/11.
Dude, kids are fucked. When you think back to, did you have anything banned from your public school?
Yes.
What happened?
Pogs, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think that was it.
Oh yeah, we had some big Yu-Gi-Oh card thefts. You know what's a big one for us?
It wasn't even theft. It was just like competition. You'd like gamble for cards, and then kids would lose and be like, I lost my Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then the teacher would be like, give him back his fucking whatever. And then the principal would get involved because the kid would say no, and then they banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's fucking lame. That's lame. I remember one that was brutal at our school. Do you remember Beyblades?
Yeah.
They banned Beyblades because kids... There was a convenience store that sold really long ripcords, so you could really fucking get it going. And kids
like
just started...
market.
Yeah, kids just started beating the shit out of each other with them. That was just our recess, was just... whooping each other's fucking asses with these, and the principal's like, "Oh my God, Jesus, no!"
Just yelling, "Let it rip!" as you skull a kid with a massive ripcord.
Let's Beyblade! I'm just fucking beating him. Yeah. Beyblades were so fucking lame. I have no idea why they're
still around.
were popular.
People love battle tops.
Do you ever like? I remember I had like the little plastic floppy arena, and it was like
never had one.
Oh man, and it was like this like little like concave dish, and it had like three pockets
I did
there.
have one. I have a vivid memory.
Yeah, and then you would like two people would spin their Beyblade in there, and they would just kind of like tap into each other occasionally because they're just spinning tops, and then like whoever got knocked into one of the things, they would lose. But I remember one time playing against this guy, and mine was like on its last legs because I love this thing. I would like rip it in our kitchen, and it would just bang off shit. So it had all these like stress cracks in it, and I knew it was like on its last legs. And I used it against this kid in our complex, and his like touched it, and it just blew apart my Beyblade. Like the top part of it just like blew into like a bunch of pieces, and the guy's like, "I destroyed your Beyblade!" Like he felt like
the greatest moment in that
powerful
kid's life.
kid. Oh yeah, he thinks about that all the time for sure.
Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say.
Can you open this for me?
Yes, I can. Is letter writing is dumb.
Yeah. Did you ever have like a pen pal or anything like that?
Hold on. Fuck, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. No, this is really,
God.
shit in the bed. There we go.
All right. I did have a pen pal as a kid. There was a kid, he was my best friend, in like grades 1 to, I want to say kindergarten to like grade 1. His name was Ryan Divigalpatia. I remember.
Do you have him on Facebook?
No, I don't have him on anything.
Okay.
I remember he was the first person whose house I went to and was like, this house smells different than my house. And he was a great guy. He moved back to, I could guess, but I'm not going to. And he, I think we sent back a few letters back and forth, and he would like I remember he sent me one, the last one that we exchanged. He sent me this really nice like picture he drew of like him and his family in front of their house and like their pet
That's nice.
or whatever. And I remember looking at it and going, I'm not going to put this much work into my return letter. So I just never sent a return letter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so Ryan, David Galpatia, if you're out there, sorry. Maybe reach out. I don't know.
Be hilarious if you somehow found his address and then just sent him artwork worth all this waiting.
Yeah.
Like, just sent him, like, a masterpiece of you painting, like, a chapel of just, like, your friendship. He's like, this guy's weird, man.
Did you ever do that thing when your parents would make you write a thank you note to a relative and you put it off for way too long? So you like stomp on the envelope a little bit to make it look like the post office lost it?
No, but that's genius.
Yeah. I'll just do that, just step on it and like throw dirt on it, and maybe a little bit of gunpowder. Be like, this letter's been through a lot. Okay,
I sent this when I was in the war.
yeah, it's been through some wars, and it's about to tell you about a new stuffed animal I got when I was 9, or whatever. But no, writing letters is dumb.
Yeah.
Writing letters is very dumb. I had a friend of mine who this was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay.
He was going to his friend's house to hang out, and he showed up, and it was a letter writing party.
Okay.
And they were all writing letters to Donald Trump to be like,
good job, or you suck?
No, to be like, you suck, Donald Trump. You should resign. I hope that you get impeached. Love. Whoever.
I just imagine him reading it, just like his lip quivering. Just like, I thought they'd be on my side.
The delusion of that.
Yeah.
Of just being like, no, he's going to read this. Like, he's going to fucking throw that in a fire he uses to like burn books and communists. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
that's never going to meet his eyes, meet his ears, anything like that. He's
No.
never going to take in this information. Not once.
I wouldn't even read a letter if you wrote it to me. And I get no letters.
If Donald Trump wrote you a letter,
oh my God, I would
like
read
a
it. I
presidential
would read
oh
it.
my God, I'd read it in a fucking second.
Absolutely.
In a second. He's fucking, you know what? Obviously, like a bad person, wasn't a good president, but he's a fucking fascinating person just because of how fucking weird he is. Like, I saw that podcast he did with, I think it was the Nelk Boys or something. It was like the first. It was the first appearance on anything he had done in so long since all that stuff happened.
And he did it on the
Hill.
like Full Send podcast.
Yeah, it wasn't up for very long. It got deleted. Like off YouTube.
It's out there somewhere. I gotta find it.
For sure. But it's just crazy because he's just like, you could tell he's just this old delusional man. But you're just almost along for the journey, even if you don't want to. Like when he's talking, you just feel like you're in a roller coaster. It's like going up the tracks. You're like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
What's he talking about? He's just like, do you kids love crack cocaine? I love crack cocaine. Like, it's just stuff like that.
Well, he's just talking about like what's going on in like the Ukraine and with Russia, and like, oh, Joe Biden didn't stand up to him. That's why all this shit's happening. Like the invasion would have never happened if I was still in office.
And
blah, 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 blah,
And
blah.
the Nelk boys are all like, true. Aren't they Canadian anyway?
I think so.
I think the Nelk guys are Canadian anyway.
Some people really like those guys.
Dude, that's a hell of a get for the Nelk guys.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How did that even happen?
I don't know.
I bet they were fucking amped.
Yeah.
It would honestly be like if we got Pierre Trudeau to come on our podcast. That's basically...
A dead man?
Wait. Justin Trudeau to come on our podcast. Sorry, I've been reading too much about the Trudeaus.
Oh, dude, fill me in. Any new updates in Justin Trudeau's remarkable life? No? How far in the book are you?
Honestly, I haven't really touched the book. I've mostly been doing background on like his dad and shit, and nothing very interesting.
Yeah? Did you end up getting that Bastards and Boneheads book?
No, it's only they only have it in the reference library, so I'm gonna go check it out next Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, on my weekly trip to the reference library because I'm fucking smart.
Oh my God.
Fuck, bro.
What have you been doing in the reference library?
So smart. Just reading, writing. I go there on Saturday mornings and then stay for a while.
Nice.
Sometimes in the middle of the week if I feel like I'm not being productive at home.
Yeah.
Use the library. People, go to the library.
Please do. I was at the Guelph Public Library yesterday because I was riding down to the show with Paul McCallum from Guelph to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And Nick dropped me off in Guelph, and he's like, "Where do you want to go?" I was like, I guess I'll just hang at a library.
Yeah,
And I
everyone.
just went to a library and just hung out. I went and got McDonald's at one point, walked to the park, then walked back to the library. Like it was a nice little day.
I've been in enough towns for like comedy and other stuff that every once in a while I'm basically a homeless guy.
Yeah, that's what it felt like yesterday.
Yeah, and then you just go, I guess I'll go to the library, and
Yeah.
it's nice. They treat
Yeah.
you like a person.
Yeah.
They don't look down on you for being homeless.
Yeah, it's great. I remember for a while when I was still living at home, our internet got shut off because our internet was like 24 gigs.
Yeah.
And I had downloaded like all of a season of Breaking Bad, and it like went over our usage, so we got our internet shut off for like a month. And I had to go, if I wanted to use the internet, I had to go to the St. Thomas Public Library, and I would just be sitting there, and then across from me there'd be like a guy with like a blue bonnet margarine container, and he'd open it and pull out cold chicken and start eating, and I'd just be sitting there like trying to download some podcast to listen to, being like, what the fuck, where did my life go wrong?
We are the same, you and I. Chicken man.
This is your future.
But no, it's nice. I like the library. Plus, they have all the books.
Yeah.
So if you want a book, just go to the fucking library.
Have you ever like borrowed a book from the library and then ended up buying the book? Like not from the library, but somewhere else. You're like,
Yeah.
that book fucking rocked.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Which is dumb. Don't do that. Just rent it again if you want it. But
Yeah.
I like owning books more than I like reading books.
It is nice. But I find like my whole collection of books is books that I haven't read yet.
That's
Because
good.
when I read them and I finish them, I'm like, oh, you should read this. You'd really like it.
That's
And
awesome.
then now I don't know where most of these books are.
I hoard red books like a dragon. I like put them up and like I shine a light on them like a rich person's painting. And I'm like, I read these. Everyone gather. I read those. And then I have my unread books in like a shadowy wooden box.
Like some dark place full of shame.
Yeah, it's my shame is the fact that like 3/4 of the books I own are unread because I really don't read.
Do you have a rule for, like, if you're starting a book, you'll give it a certain amount of pages before you give up on it? Like, I was talking to Corn one day, and he said his dad, because his dad was a big reader and owned, like, a book-selling company on the side for a bit, being, like, a history teacher, too.
Yeah.
And he said he would always give a book 50 pages. He's like, don't give the book 50 pages.
Oh.
And I remember one time I was reading Fluke by, I don't know, like, some comedy writer. He's really popular. I can't remember his fucking name right now. But anyways, it was like page 48,
Yeah.
and I still wasn't feeling it. This is years before I heard Corn's Theory. But I was like, my cousin's girlfriend lent it to me. I want to, be friends. This is like a nice show of faith if I, like, stick it out for this book for a little bit. And I got to page 49, and just, like, something crazy happened in the book, and I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, I just kept on. I just
That's
fucking
cool.
flew through the rest of the book. I was like, but if I would have given up on page 48, like I was going to do because I was bored, it was just
Yeah.
following a guy who's, like, following whale sounds and nothing fucking is happening in the book, and it's just kind of lame.
Yeah.
I would have, like, lost out on this crazy fucking story that was super entertaining.
I'll tell you the quickest I gave up on a book. It was Pygmy by Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who wrote Fight Club.
Yeah.
It's just about this, like, it's from the perspective of, like, a pygmy warrior who gets adopted by, like, an American family.
What's pygmy mean?
It's just like a little warrior man. It's like a
Okay.
race.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know how to describe it.
Like of real people?
Yeah.
They existed?
Yeah. They're like
Okay.
the pygmies. It's like a
Okay.
group of people. And then it's written in, like, poor dialogue because he doesn't know English very well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just very coldly speaking with bad grammar. And then on page 15, he gets, like, disrespected by a 9-year-old, like a fellow 9-year-old, because he's also a child.
Yeah.
And then he does, like, rapes this kid to, like, exert power over him in the back of this
Jesus.
Walmart. And I read that and I was like, yeah, no, I'm probably not gonna, I don't need to read this.
Yeah, I remember I've read some weird shit. I remember in our grade 11 English class, we had to read a book that had been turned into a movie and then watch the movie as well and then, contrast and compare or whatever. And
You watched Irreversible.
no, I was like, I'll do The English Patient. I don't know how I decided on. I just probably looked at
Hey,
like,
Michael
best
Ondaatje.
adaptations.
It's the guy who
Yeah.
wrote Coming Through Slaughter.
Yeah, that was another thing too. Is like he's a popular author,
Yeah.
right? And I start reading this book, and on like page 5 or something like that, they're talking about some tribal ceremony somewhere where like a little boy comes on some sand,
Yeah.
and then someone else like picks it up and eats the cum sand.
And you were like, maybe me?
I was like,
Maybe for Doug?
I was like, I'm gonna pick like Life of Pi or something. Like, I'm gonna change my thing.
Yeah, like a brief history of 7 killings. A guy talks about how he's like hiding under rubble as this Jamaican mob boss puts a gun to his dad's head and then makes him suck his dick, and then
Jesus Christ.
comes in his dad's mouth and then shoots him in the head anyway. And I was just like, nah, this book's like 800 pages. I don't want this in my life. That, and
Dude,
also
that's fucked.
this book I gave up on. It's called Fox 8. It's by George Saunders. And it's just like,
No, you were just talking about him.
yeah, I love his work. But-
What's his work? What does he do?
He does like short stories. They're kind of dark. Like he had one called The 400-Pound CEO about a guy who works for this company and everybody makes fun of him because he's 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And he asks like the one lady in the office on a date, and at the end of the day she says yes, and he's over the moon, and he goes on a date and he pays for everything he can't afford. He has a great time. And at the end of the date she tells him that she was paid $50 by their actual boss to go on a date with him because everybody thought it would be funny. And then he sees the boss assaulting like a reporter who's reporting on what they do badly there, and he accidentally crushes his boss and then buries him in the backyard, and then he becomes CEO, and he rules over this company, and he does a great job, and everyone loves him, but then they find out what he did, and then he goes to prison, and he's tortured by his fellow inmates. Like, that's sort of where George Saunders lives.
That's a short story?
Yeah, it was like 12 pages.
Dude, I got to get you to recommend some like great short story stuff to me, because I honestly haven't read short stories since they made us read the really fucked up ones in English class in grade 9. You remember when you hit an age in high school and they're like, no, they can handle this shit. Like, I remember reading a short story where it was like some sort of blind date scenario or like speed dating.
Yeah.
And a girl shows up in front of a guy and she has like a box. And there's just like something in the box, but she doesn't say what it is. And you find out there's like a history between them. And then you find out that like he had knocked her up and like abandoned her. And then at the end of like the speed dating round, like she walks away and he opens the box and it's the fetus,
Jesus.
like the dead baby, like
I
because it
love
didn't
dead
make it or
fetuses
something
in
like that.
stories. Yeah.
But it was just, I remember reading that in grade 9, and I was just like, why would they do this to us? Like, I get we have to grow up at some point, but I'm in grade 9.
Yeah.
Like, can't this be like a grade 12 thing? Like,
No.
I'll be here still, I promise.
I'll get you into some like Alice Munro, some George Saunders, some, Louis Borges or something like that. Something,
Fuck yeah.
something nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this one I had to stop because this is how it starts. I read one paragraph and then I quit.
Okay.
It says, Dear...
The whole book.
Yes.
Is it all one story?
Yes.
Okay, it's pretty
says-
small. It's a pretty small
It says,
audio.
Dear
listeners.
Reader, both spelled with 2 E's. All of these words are spelled wrong.
Wait, let me look at it. Dear
First,
reader.
may I
Okay.
say sorry for any words I spell wrong because I am a fox. So don't write or spell perfect. But here is how I learned to write and spell as good as I do. And I was like, nah.
Honestly, part of me's like, I kind of want to find out what the fox did.
Well, hey, it's a library book, so you can't have it. But no, man, we'll get you into some short stories. Novels are intimidating for me.
I just want to know, what do the fox say?
I got a short story called Zombie You Loves from the point of view of like Jeffrey Dahmer-ish figure.
Ooh,
by
that's
Joyce,
fun.
By Joyce Carol Oates. You'll fucking dig it.
When the timer went off, we have to end here soon.
Oh,
But
shit.
I
Tell
read
the
this
story and then do your
plugs, pluggy poos. I read this book by Roger Zelazny. It was really cool. It was called A Night in the Lonesome October, and it was about Jack the Ripper's dog. It was written from the perspective of Jack the Ripper's dog,
Oh,
and there's
fun.
all these like, famous horror figures, but they all know about each other, and they all take part in like this weird seance sacrifice thing every 6 months or so. So like there's the good doctor that's like Dr. Frankenstein, and then there's like someone who's the Wolfman, there's someone who's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like all this like
Yeah.
crazy shit. But I remember the book ends with the witch's name was Jill, and then obviously Jack the Ripper, and it ends with like Jack and Jill ran down the hill and me and the cat came tumbling after or something like that. But it was like such a fucking wild out there book.
That's
it was
fun.
Fucking, yeah, it was great.
All right. What are your plugs?
All right, so this week I don't have anything until Thursday, and on Thursday I'm at a bar called And Then You in Hamilton, which is like a really neat kind of like speakeasy. It kind of feels like a Toronto basement bar in Hamilton. Ben Bayfield's doing a show there. I'm closing it out. And then on Saturday I'm at Comedy at the Alley, Lars Classington's show at 8, and then at 1185 at 10.
Nice. Good for
In
you,
in
doubling
Toronto.
up.
Yeah, man.
What day is that?
The Saturday. The 20th.
20th, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going. Yeah, Tuesday the 16th, I'm doing 5 for 5 at Comedy Bar. 17th, I'm at Curveball Comedy at Tall Boys. The 20th, I'm at that like Deb Boschman show up in Muskoka.
Oh,
So
nice.
I don't even know if that's a private event or a public event, but I'm driving up Ron Vaudry, so that'll be cool.
Paid, so.
Yeah. And then the 21st is the big one. That's Drunken Monkey at Tall Boys. It's
Nice.
Justin's show that I'm hosting for him because he's out of town. So if we could make it good, I can load that over Justin for a while. So if
Oh,
you're gonna,
yeah.
if you're gonna come out to any of them, come out to that one.
If you're in Toronto and you're listening to this, go to that show.
All right.
All right, bye, everybody. We love you.
Thanks. Bye.
Ugh. All right. One? Yeah, that was a good one. I feel like we need to stop talking about weight loss and we need to stop talking about books.
You know what? I think books you can keep talking about because it's different.
Yeah,
But weight loss, you're almost treading on the same territory. If we were talking about the same books every time,
that's true.
I kind of am with it, but I'm getting farther through it.
I just feel like no one really cares if we talk about books. Because we're just too fucking smart.